looking around today, how do you feel about the state of the Democratic Party?
Well, I will tell you from a reporter's perspective about how the American people think of the Democratic Party. And that is CNN just had a poll this past week that it's got an all-time low approval,
Mhm.
like 20%.
Wow.
It's not great.
And is that something, like, within the news world that, like, you're all aware of and
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about? We're like, "This is wild. Like,
Yeah,
what's
and you
going
know
on
who
here?"
else is aware of it? The Democratic leaders
Are
and
they?
elected. Oh, yeah, there's a huge soul searching going on right now among elected officials, both in Washington, governors around the country, legislators, county officials. I mean, everybody trying to figure out what went wrong. And when I say what went wrong, it's not just about losing the election or losing the election to Donald Trump. It's about the voters the Democrats have lost.
Mhm.
But there's not consensus about what to do about it. There is, just like in the Republican Party, there is kind of the more populist, John Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
or frankly, even AOC. She's as progressive as they come, but she also has a populist sensibility.
Right.
There's a very big strain of populism in the Republican Party,
Sure.
which is how they got a lot of the formerly Democratic voters, particularly rural voters, working class voters, even some middle class voters. And so trying to find their way, I'm just talking about the Democrats now, and figure out why is it that we are the most popular in urban areas?
Mhm.
Why is it that we're the most popular among the highly educated? I think honestly, it's at this point, it's the educational divide, even as much or even more than the geographical divide
Do you think that
or
speaks to
racial.
the economic socioeconomic
Yeah.
divide?
Yes, I do.
Mhm.
I do. And it's the perception of elitism
Yeah.
that bluntly people feel left behind. And from the beginning, that's what Donald Trump, that was his whole message. It was very simple. You feel left behind. I see you. I hear you. Come with me. And that was amplified in 2024 when even though the economic indicators and the numbers and what you look at if you're an economist were getting much better under Joe Biden,
Mhm.
inflation was high and people didn't feel it. And if you can't buy a house, if you can't pay a mortgage, if you can't um, afford the groceries that you used to afford, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
And you're gonna wanna throw the bums out. And you know what's really interesting, Jonah, is that post-COVID, the economy was so bad globally
Right.
that in democracies across the world, whether they were, left-leaning leaders or more right-leaning or center right-leaning leaders, more of those leaders were thrown out by their people than I think at almost any point in recorded history.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily because it was a right or left issue, it was an anger issue
Right.
at the government isn't doing what I need it to be doing for me.
Okay, so that's your survey of the Democrats. What
Okay.
about the Republicans? What are you seeing in the first couple months of Trump 2.0 that you are impressed by, and what are you
Mhm.
seeing that you are worried by?
The big difference within the Republican Party is that the first time around, there were a lot of people in Congress who were skeptical of him, who didn't wanna go along with him, who bucked him, and some of them lost their primaries, and they
Mhm.
got penalized by Republican voters. In fact, most of them did. But they still existed, and they made it harder for Trump to do the things he wanted to do. Now, at this point, either those people are long gone because they were forced to retire or they got primaried and they lost from a fellow Republican who was more Trumpy,
Mhm.
or they're just sucking it up and closing their mouth.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, they're now part of his administration.
Right.
And that is really the big difference. The quote unquote resistance was in effect among Republicans back then, and it's not now. And what this means is that the Republican Party is now the Trump party.